Today, we're not digging into a research paper or some academic study. Instead, we're going to deconstruct a really chilling set of instructions, a playbook, you could call it, that was found inside a letter. It's all about how to weaponize digital distraction. So let's just dive right in. So the letter opens with this immediate, high-stakes threat. There's no gentle introduction, no easing you in. We are dropped right into the middle of a mission that has some pretty severe consequences for failure. It sets this really dark and urgent tone from the very first sentence. All right, first things first, let's really unpack the context of this sinister letter and get a handle on the core mission that it's laying out. So what we're looking at here is a letter between a mentor, who's called Stoneheart, and their student, Belphegora. And Stoneheart is basically teaching Belphegora the art of a very specific and, frankly, very dark kind of psychological manipulation. And here is the objective. And listen, it's not just about keeping someone busy or distracted. The goal is to nurture what Stoneheart calls deep internal distraction for a very clear purpose, to actively block any sense of joy and, in the letter's own creepy words, to pave a boulevard to misery. So to pull off a goal like that, a manipulator needs a weapon, right? So what's the chosen tool for this mission? Well, it's the device that's probably in your hand or in your pocket right now. The letter identifies the subject's screen as the tremendous asset. It's not some abstract idea, it is a physical object that is perfectly suited for the job. I mean, this description is just so vivid. The screen isn't just a simple distraction, it's a black hole. The imagery here really drives home this idea of its gravitational pull. It's instant, it's powerful, and it's almost impossible to escape once you get too close. And this really lays out the trade-off, doesn't it? On one side, you have what the letter calls the remarkable life, the real world, where genuine joy can actually happen. And on the other side, you have the digital escape, where that joy is, quote, wholly blocked. And the person becomes, as Stoneheart puts it, a slave to metal and plastic. It's literally swapping a real life for a digital one. So how does this weapon actually work its magic? Well, this next section gets into the core tactic that makes the screen so incredibly powerful for this mission. Okay, so according to this playbook, distraction is defined as the absolute polar opposite of presence. It's not just about trying to do two things at once. Its real strategic purpose is to be an escape hatch from tough emotions, to completely short-circuit that human need we all have to process, to reflect, and to just think things through. It's a quick fix, but the problems are always waiting for you when you put the screen down. And the letter goes on to detail a specific, and I've got to say, a particularly cruel way to use this tactic, weaponizing it against a mother. The goal is to completely sever that unique parent-child connection, to make her so distracted that she misses the pure joy of seeing the world through her children's eyes, all because she's barely even looking into them in the first place. This brings us to the next section, which really looks at the tangible, real-world consequences of this strategy on the battlefield of everyday life. Wow, this is just devastatingly simple and so effective. The letter actually predicts that the soundtrack to her kids' lives will become this constant phrase, "Hold on." It's the verbal cue that whatever is on that screen is more important than the actual human beings standing right in front of her. And Stoneheart even puts a number on this. The pull of the screen is so strong, so relentless, that her children will get less than half of her focus. The majority of her attention is just being siphoned away into that rectangular black void. And the long-term impact of that, it's profound. This kind of behavior actually shapes memory itself. When these kids look back on their childhood, their main image of their mother won't be of her looking at them. It'll be of her looking down, just staring into that digital abyss. And this is the heartbreaking lesson they end up learning. Kids are smart. They might not get what a smartphone does, but they definitely get what it represents. And through thousands and thousands of these tiny interactions, they learn a devastating lesson. The device comes first. So this is all building towards the manipulator's ultimate goal. Because this isn't just about what's happening in the present moment. It's all about a truly sinister endgame. The ultimate objective here is actually delayed. The real prize for the manipulator isn't now, it's the future. A future where the mother looks back with what the letter calls self-loathing, totally crippled by the regret of all the moments she just let slip away. And Stoneheart wants her to be literally haunted by specific questions. This is the first one. a painful realization that she traded priceless, irreplaceable moments with her kids for what she now sees as just mindless nothingness. And then the regret gets more and more specific, focusing on all the small, beautiful moments that actually make up a life. We're not talking about missing big events. We're talking about the thousands of tiny smiles and expressions of joy that were happening right in front of her, totally unseen. And finally, maybe the most painful question of all. This one just cuts right to the heart of human connection. That simple, powerful act of a loving gaze, which she will one day realize her children were desperately longing for, and which she was just too distracted to give. And this is the final chilling twist, because the tragedy doesn't stop with the mother's regret. Stoneheart reveals that this is a generational strategy. The distraction creates a cycle. It creates children who are starving for attention, and that very starvation makes them vulnerable, makes them easier targets for manipulators like Stoneheart and Belphegora down the road. It's a self-perpetuating system, a truly dark playbook, and it really leaves you wondering, how effective is it in the world outside of this letter?